This is real life, talking about real things. Just got off of a almost 12-hour shift. Done some studying today. I'm mentally drained. Excuse the background. I'm putting these first aid IFACs together. But that's not going to stop us because by the time you see this, it will be 10 Toes Tuesday. This weekend, I went to a referee class. It's like a homecoming of sorts for us. There are men and women that I have not seen for 9 months, but there are two particular gentlemen that I really enjoy refereeing lacrosse with and field hockey. The meeting this time was for lacrosse. That season is starting up. We were going over the rules. You should see by the thumbnail the two other gentlemen that I'm talking about. We just have this camaraderie because not only is it not a lot of lacrosse referees, it's not a lot of black lacrosse or field hockey referees. A lot of people will do football and they'll do basketball, which these two gentlemen do. I do soccer, field hockey, lacrosse, but most of these guys will do football, field hockey, lacrosse, and the gentleman we're talking about tonight, he does a plethora of sports, and he also has a YouTube channel. I will put that in a link. As a matter of fact, if I don't find it tonight, I will find it, and I'll link that to it so you can go and check him out. But we started, I didn't know he had a YouTube channel. He didn't know I had a YouTube channel, and we just showed each other some love and subscribed to each other's channels. Now, do I know if he watches or not? Tonight we'll see, because I'm not going to tell him that this 10 Toes Tuesday is about him. He just finished interviewing someone that was gone through domestic violence, and that's a sticky subject to talk about, so I will let him speak through him with that story in that interview. I'm not going to go in about it, but we started talking about abuse and community service and what it means to be a man. And we talk about all kinds of different things before and after we referee. We try to be as fair and impartial as we can. The one thing that stands out about him is he's completely unbiased. We go by the rules. And he has had quite a few incidents like I have with soccer where he has had to stand 10 toes down with coaches, with other referees, and with players. Oh, and let's not forget the most important ones, the parents. On Facebook, he put out that he was doing a basketball game, and this is a high school basketball game. It was two teams that were very close competitively. They were both good teams. Couldn't take anything away from them. They called the game as best they could. It was a good game. When you get to these higher levels, especially in the high school level that he referees at, you have to know the rules. You are picked. You're handpicked for some of these games. He has been handpicked for this. The losing team was upset, rightfully so. They lost, but you lost. That's what sports is about. There's a winner and there's a loser. Just like in life, there's winners and there's losers. One of the young men, after the game, and he had finished getting dressed, and you all head out as a team, said something very derogatory to him. And he came back to the young man and said, hey, I can't take anything away from you guys. You guys played a good game. Basically, better luck next year, and you try to get out of there as soon as possible. You don't want to stay in chit-chat. But the young man said something else to him, like, you referees suck, or the normal things that go on. And so he turned to him and he tried to, as eloquently as possible, tell him that he wasn't taking anything away from, that it was a good game. They just lost this year. But his attitude And the way that he was conducting himself as a man and the way that he approached the situation with that referee was uncalled for. And so he tried to de-escalate it, and the young man just wasn't hearing it. Now, you have to bite your tongue because you have to realize that some of these young men are 17, 16. They haven't experienced any life yet. Not really. I thought I had at 18, but let's face it, 18 through 20 something, we're just now starting to get into our groove as life. And we still think that we are invincible as a man. When I saw the story on Facebook and being with him when we have had to handle other situations, I knew what he had said to them. He's just trying to educate this young man. He does this on and off of the court. I encourage you again, go check out his stuff. But he's always stood 10 toes down with me. He's always been a good friend and a good referee. He's given me book recommendations. I'll throw him a book recommendation. But when you are one of the only black referees in your city or state, you try to get along as much as possible. And you try to pass on, even though we're just about the same age, you try to pass on some other knowledge. Hey, man, have you heard about this? Hey, have you heard about this? With that being said, a couple last videos ago, I still said, hey, we need to boost each other up. We need to have some mentors for these young people. And again, it doesn't have to be black, be white, purple, green, whatever. But we are the example that 20 years from now may not remember our name, but they'll remember what we did. May not be the most rosiest thing, but they'll remember that advice. I know there's been a few times where I was a little knucklehead, but now that I am the age where the men were telling me, like, oh, that makes sense. I remember this was Gary. Oh, I don't remember his name, but I remember this advice. Always remember, stand 10 toes down. Stand for something. And they say, what, nice guys always lose, but that's not the truth. Most of these guys are nice guys now because they've lived through some things that they don't want to do anymore, even though they know how to do it. Chris, if you see this, hey man, all love. And we'll be out on the field here soon. To everyone else, I appreciate you getting on and just watching to this point in time. I hope that you have a fantastic evening, rest of the week, going into the weekend. For all my people in Ohio, God, I hope it warms up. It is 20 some odd degrees. God, I hope it warms up. With that, Big Unc out.